What is up, guys, and welcome back to Jack's Edits. Here today we have part 2 of the Taunt Control Warrior guide and tutorial, which we were going through in the last episode as well. If you haven't seen the last episode, I would recommend you go back and watch it, just because it has an in-depth description of the deck list, and a pretty good first match with the deck. So but yeah, this is game 2 here. Again, exact same deck list, which you can find the code for in the description, and it will be displayed on the screen at the end. But we're going to get right into it here, straight off the bat. Up against a priest, still battling away at rank 5. I think this is only 1 or 2 games after the last one that I uploaded, so you haven't missed too much there. Again here, not the best opening hand, but we do have the Restless Mummy, which is good. Pretty much all the priest decks on the ladder at the moment are quite aggressive early board game decks, which is definitely not what we've come to expect of priest over the last few expansions. But here we are with pretty much only Zoo priest deck. So he's going to lead with the Tolvir Warden, obviously a 2/6 that deals 3 to itself. And he kind of has the nuts here, as you'll see. He's about to play the Northshire Cleric and then heal, which is a really strong start. So it is super important against these priest decks that you are trying to control the board early as much as you can. You can die as early as turn 5, especially because they're running the Divine Spirit Inner Fire combos. So it's super easy to die early. So you have to make sure you're controlling the board early, which is why I choose to coin out this Restless Mummy. Not a great use of the coin. I would much rather hold on to it for something a bit better than that, a bit more value, but in this case I know how important it is to control the board early game. So coming across these aggressive priests is one of the reasons that I started playing Control Warrior, switching over from the aggro deck, just because this kind of deck has more gas than the aggressive rogue that I was playing, but also just as strong in early game. So it's a pretty poor matchup in that case, and I was coming across a lot of these priests. He has the Psycho Pump on turn 4, which is absolutely nuts. Bringing back the 2/6 Reborn is a super strong turn 4 there, and I don't have much of a return myself. I just shield block for a card, and then draw the second Restless Mummy, which is important. And I've got the Dr. Boom there, which is going to be super vital for winning this game as well. But so far, not looking great. Again, he's drawing more cards there, healing up his Warden, which is not good. I don't have a lot of good answers. I've got the Restless Mummy, like I said, which is good, but with the Reborn on that Warden, I can't even kill it fully. I've got the Super Collider, which is actually looking okay here. It's another good option, and it's always nice to get it out early just because it is so expensive. Kind of the turn you play it, it's kind of goes even in value, the Super Collider, but then the turns after, when you've already got it up, it really catches you up with that big value. So I'm thinking about Town Crying here for the Ziliax and then playing the Restless Mummy, but I do end up going with the Super Collider. Again, a decently strong play this turn, but it's really it's only going to improve the value as the next turns go on and I get to swing with it again. So we're getting closer to Dr. Boom here, which is good. Obviously, having that Mech Rush ability is super strong against these board intense decks. Just allows you to kind of get really favorable trades off a lot of the time. And I've still got this Restless Mummy, which is good. On his part, things to worry about is the Armet. Obviously, that's kind of the really big one. Having a Brawl and a Shield Slam in hand is going to be good for that. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. So he's going to heal and draw 2 cards there, which is pretty big value. The one thing I do find about these priest decks, if you do outlast them in the early and mid game, you are almost always going to win in fatigue. They draw so many cards between the Circle of Healings, the Northshire Clerics, and the whole deck is basically built around it. They usually run 2 Acolyte of Pains as well as the Wild Pyro, so they can just draw like crazy when they need to. So if you do manage to last the early game, you are probably going to win in fatigue, which is super nice. Here I am going to play the Restless Mummy. I'm going to attack with the Super Collider first. I'm not actually sure why I did that. That's not the best play there. I think maybe I forgot that this Taunt was Reborn, and I didn't think it was going to come back there, so that's probably a bit of a lapse of judgment on my part. I do choose to play the Town Crier here. Obviously, if he wants to draw another card off it, he can. But his hand is super full and his minion is already damaged, so I'm not losing a lot there by playing it out. He can trade if he wants to, but I would rather have the Ziliax in my hand, basically. I thought that it was worth it. So coming up to turn 7 here, I would like to be able to play Dr. Boom, but it does really heavily depend on how much pressure he puts on the board. Obviously, if he's playing a lot of minions here, I'm not going to have that luxury, and I'm going to have to clear the board before I can. So that is the one problem with playing Dr. Boom in this matchup. It is a super slow turn. It's not as bad on turn 9 when you get to hero power alongside playing him, but you don't always get the one you want, obviously. So it can be a pretty dead turn, even on turn 9 when you have the ability to press the button. But he's going to Divine Spirit here and Circle of Healing. He's only drawing one card with that, but he is also buffing the Light Warden. So it's not too bad, not a great deal of value, drawing 2 cards. And off the top of that, he does actually get the Inner Fire. So super lucky for him. He's going to hit me right in the face, which is understandable, and I'm down to 8. So things are looking pretty bad here. He's got another Taunt there to help protect his big Northshire Cleric. Not that I actually have a good way to kill it anyway. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to play Dr. Boom here. If I play Dr. Boom, I am definitely dead. So it is going to have to be Brawl by the looks of it. Yep, so it is. Again, just hoping that that 14-14 doesn't live. If anything else lives, I can maybe wiggle my way out of it. Thankfully, it doesn't. He's stuck with a 2-3, which admittedly isn't great, just because he can heal it and pretty easily buff it. If he has another Inner Fire there, I'm probably dead, but not much I can do, so I just hero power and end my turn. Again, down to 10 health, not looking good. This Super Collider probably isn't going to be much use here on out, just given how low I am, which is one of the drawbacks of it. It's kind of a win more card. I'm definitely not going to be making any comebacks with the Super Collider, especially when I'm at 8 health. He's going to play the double Acolyte here. It seems like he doesn't really have any good threats to play from his hand, which is good. Obviously, having a full 8 mana there, he chooses to play a couple of 1/3s. So I'm going to take this opportunity with the lower pressure to play Dr. Boom. Given that I have the 8 mana, I also have the ability to Shield Slam here, which is super nice. As I was talking about, it was worried having that big health minion there that could easily get buffed up. So good to gain 7 there and kill that. Obviously, I don't have the opportunity to build myself a board, but I have drawn a few taunts here, which is going to be good. Obviously, he's going to Wild Pyre and then Extra Arms and start to draw a lot of cards, like I was talking about before. Really trying to regas his hand, because whilst I am low on health, if he doesn't have a lot of pressure to apply, then I'm going to come back from this pretty easily. So I know he's got the Extra Arms in hand, so he's probably going to play that here. He does, and draw another 2 cards. He does kill off his own Wild Pyro there, which is a little strange. He could have definitely healed it there, but I guess he was maybe hoping to draw something that he could use that mana for a little bit better. But he does end up healing the Acolyte there, which seems a bit weird to me. I think he would have been better off healing that Wild Pyro if he was going to heal anything and keep that alive, just to keep his board a bit bigger. He could have done that and played the Light Warden. He plays the Light Warden after he's done his healing, so that was some pretty ordinary order from him there. I guess he was rushing at the end with the rope, but yeah, not a great play from him there. I'm thinking about playing the Dynamatic here. Given how big his hand already is, I wouldn't mind drawing him a bunch of cards just to try and get him into fatigue quicker, because at the moment that's looking like the only way I'm going to win. I don't have a lot of pressure on board. I'm going to attack into that Light Warden there. I do get lucky with the with which way it goes. It does attack into the 5/6, which means that it does die off. Obviously, had it gone the other way there, it would still be alive, which would be pretty annoying. So if I want, I do have the opportunity to draw him a lot of cards here. I can Dynamatic and Hero Power, and that's what I was considering doing here for a long time. That's why this turn takes me so long, just because, like I said, it would be drawing him 7 cards, which is way too many. It would kill off both the Acolytes, and he would burn a bunch of cards and his deck would be empty. But I am pretty worried about dying here. I know he can really quickly rebuild the board, so I do end up choosing to play the Omega Devastator even before turn 10, meaning I don't get the deal 10, just so I can combine it with the Ziliax and heal for a nice 7 there. So in the end, it was more important to heal up than to get closer to winning the game. I know I have heaps and heaps of juice left in my deck and in my hand to finish him off if I need it, and I just decided there that the healing was better. That can be a pretty tough decision to make, and it's important to assess that game by game, but I think often you are going to have a lot more gas than the other deck is, and it's going to be more important to just stay alive and heal up rather than having a win condition or pushing towards your win condition, which in this case for me looks like it's going to be fatigue. So he does silence my Ziliax, magnetized to the Omega Devastator, which is pretty annoying. I'm not going to get another 7 healing there, which I was hoping for sure. And his board is starting to look a little scary again here. I do have some pretty good answers though. I have 2 Dynamatics, and looking at how much health he's got on the board, I think that is going to be a clear. Unfortunately, if I do that, I won't be able to press the button and discover a mech, which is always unfortunate. It's one of, if not the best hero power option you get. I end up choosing to Brawl here, which makes sense given that it will let me press the button if, depending on what happens and what wins. He ends up winning with a 4-7, which I am going to prioritize killing just because, again, he's only used 1 Divine Spirit and 1 Inner Fire, and that could easily become a 14-14 and lose me the game. So I choose to destroy that. Like I said, don't get the hero power, which is a bit of a bummer, but it seems like it's lucky I did because he does have the Divine Spirit in hand, he does have the Armed in hand, and he's going to Psycho Pump there for a really massive board, which is pretty terrifying. I mean, it's just so scary how Priest can build a board like that so quick given how strong its early game is. But I get pretty lucky there drawing the Plague of Wrath, which is going to give me almost a board clear, and I will definitely take that. Plague of Wrath is a super strong card. It's only a 1-of in this deck, but I could definitely see people wanting to put to it. Super strong. It is pretty pricey, but when you're a warrior and you have so many ways to activate, deal 1 damage to everything between Warpath, that hero power there, even just rushing mechs, it's super strong. So I get the Mortuary Machine and a Ziliax there, which is a super big heal. 10 mana for an 11 heal, plus obviously the big guy as well. A little bit scary making his guys cost so much less, but given the late game, it's probably almost worth it. So he's going to play the second Light Warden there, and then, oh sorry, he already had the Light Warden, but he's going to heal it up there twice. I've got the Weaponized Pinata here, which I'm just going to play alongside to make a bigger Ziliax. Again, not messing around with these threats. There's other ways to deal with this, which is probably better and allows me to use the hero power. But I do want to heal. That's basically the biggest thing there. And once I have done that, he is going to see it's game over. He's basically out of cards, out of steam, and that is going to be the game. So we actually managed to get to rank 4 there. That's 3 wins in a row with the Warrior, which is pretty exciting. So that is it for part 2 of this Control Warrior series that we're getting into. Not every video in a row will be this Control Warrior deck probably, but it will be pretty frequent until we are done playing with the deck. So at the moment, climbing just to rank 4 as we saw, which is pretty nice. I'm hoping to make it to Legend this month, but it just depends on how much time I have to play. Obviously it's already the 21st of the month, the day that I'm playing this, meaning I've only got a few days left, a bit over a week to get there. So we've got some serious grinding to do, but hopefully we can get there. As always, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe or comment, questions, recommendations for another video. And thanks very much for watching. Peace.